Oh, like, hi, hello. I think we made it. Hi, my lovelies. How are you? I've just got my cards here. I'm giving them a shuffle, sending you lots of love. I'll just give it a minute to see if anyone joins live in the middle of this Sunday afternoon. Oh, it's just about dinner time, depends. About 5 o'clock here in the UK when I'm doing this. How's your weekend been, my lovely ones? We have been on a weekend chat, catching up, so that's been really nice. And here in my home, what have we been doing? Eliza's got a little job at the moment that she does on and off for some neighbours, doing some pet sitting stuff. So we've been down to some neighbours, feeding the cats and the chickens, collecting some eggs, watering their plants, that sort of thing, and enjoying their garden and their trampolines. So that's been nice today, getting some time with my hubby Andy with us as well. So I'm grateful for that. We've had quite a lot of busy times recently, so it's been quite nice to have a bit more of a chill day today. We had, on Friday, we went up to see one of Eliza's really good friends who lives a bit further away. So her mum's in our group here. And so that was a special treat. So we did that. And then Saturday, Eliza's been trying out a new circus skills class that she's enjoying. So we popped out for that and she really enjoyed her 2-hour class doing circus skills and aerial hoop and yoga trapeze and pole play. She's done pole play for a while, so that's not a new one, but the aerial hoop is something she's wanted to try for ages, so that's really nice. And she's feeling confident to go and enjoy the class without me needing to be with her, so that's like a really a lovely stretch for her that she's enjoying and feeling comfortable with. And so that's really nice. So I've just been shuffling our cards here and I thought I'll pull one, and this is what's come. So let's see how this lands for you. It says assess your relationship. And that's the image there. Actually, this week, because of our going up to visit Brenda on Friday, I was out of our routine. I completely forgot to do our Friday cards. I didn't even really realise clock what day it was till we were on the way home in the evening, and I was like, oh no, it's Friday and I didn't do Friday cards. So I've got them up for the group today. So if you want to check those out, feel free, and I'll put the reveal up in a little bit. But when I pulled all 3 of the cards, I was like, oh, that's so good for this weekend, because we've had really intense energies. It was the Lion's Gate, the 8th of August, 8/8, which is a powerful portal for those. Hi, Naomi, you know about this. It's a 8/8 is a really powerful portal time for our intentions, for manifesting where we're heading, which direction we want to set our focus on. And then this weekend, it's really powerful full moon energy. So it's been a lot of intensity in terms of illuminating things for us and focusing us. So sometimes we notice that in terms of, especially as parents, we really notice that in terms of intensity in our children, in our pets, and, you know, things around us in our environment. But I like to think about that illumination, drawing our awareness, drawing our consciousness to it, really working for us in showing us, you know, where we're feeling lined up with where we want to head to, and where things are ready for us to put them down, clear them out, let them fall away, excuse me, and really move with more freedom and ease in that direction that we're really wanting, with our heart and our soul leading us to go. So I think it's really nice to tune into those energies this weekend. And the cards I pulled that I've put up in the group were really lovely as a 3-card together stretch. So choose the one that touches your intuition and take that message. But it's really nice to look at all 3 together and see how they sit with those energies too. But anyway, for our little video, this is what we've got. Assess your relationship. And so I will just read the back of this card and invite you just to take what's for you and let go of anything which isn't for you. Always in life, with everything. I'll remember to say it as often as possible, but in this moment with the card, trust your instinct, trust your gut intuition. Does this touch on something for me, or is this not for me? And just, if it's not for you, let it go. Okay, it says today's lesson: Identify one dynamic or component of a close relationship that's vital to your emotional and physical health. This is especially important if you're healing and a particular relationship is causing you stress. If your relationship is a healthy union, then celebrate. Your goal is to integrate your relationship into the quality of your life. I mean, that's extremely apt for us parents, isn't it? To really look at how the dynamic of our close relationships, either with our children and young people, or with our partnerships or our extended families or those professionals in our life, and really notice how it is affecting our emotional and physical self, and especially if we are trying to heal or recover or re-find our energy or re-find our zest for life and our passion and our focus in life. It's really a lovely invitation to look at where a particular relationship is causing stress. And what I want to say about that, now what was it that something tuned me into it today? And I can't remember what avenue it came through to me actually, but I very much had it called to my attention today to look at relationships and notice, oh, I'm getting my little internal guides that prompt me sometimes are saying it was maybe Mel Robbins, something on YouTube. I'm not very good with names, but I think that's who it was. But the invitation was to really look at, in your relationship, when you've got something that's causing you stress, and call us into, stretch us. We have to challenge and stretch ourselves in this truth, but call ourselves into the truth that when we are experiencing a stress, that we need to call our power back to ourselves and not let it stay with that other person or place or thing, and not allow ourselves to continue to see ourselves as a victim of that circumstance. Stresses will come along and we will be triggered and activated by things around us. But if something is a continuous pattern and we are finding ourselves, and I absolutely know what this one is for me, so I'm here with you. I know who that person is for me right now that I am being called to have a different relationship with. But that different relationship is an internal process. It is to do with me. It's, why would I give my power to what they say, what they think, what they want, what they need, over what makes me feel good, what makes me feel in tune with who I really am, what makes me feel aligned with my greatest and highest. And to do that work, we have to allow ourselves to dare to look at those patterns, don't we? And we have to do that with a lot of compassion and love, and not beat ourselves up for what we see, because we all have them, we're all in them, and we have to look and we have to say, okay, this is an area, this is a relationship where my energy is draining, or I am giving power to something and it is not serving me at being my best. And we have to first be with that, and then we can ask ourselves, and what are the ways that I can support myself to move in a different direction with it? And you know, I'm really, really passionate about EFT tapping, because that allows us to work with those patterns in our consciousness, in our mind, in our knowing, but also supports our nervous system. It really soothes the amygdala, that part of our brain that sends us into that fight, flight, freeze, fawn response when we look at things that are challenging and uncomfortable. And why most of us stay all of our lives just where we are, going around and round until something comes along that jars us or pushes us into looking at this stuff. And we are, as the parents we are, going to have a lot of those opportunities and experiences to have these things challenged around relationship. You can't walk this walk that we are as parents without being challenged about relationships. So you get a choice, don't you? I get a choice to either see myself as being a victim of that and continue with a story of struggle, or I get to acknowledge the empowered person that I am, and that I can feel blessed for what is having a light shone on it, what is illuminating itself to me, so that I can choose differently. And it's not always an instant thing, it's not always an overnight thing. Sometimes it is. Sometimes the awareness is enough that we just go, oh, right, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. And sometimes we have to look at those patterns and we have to make some shifts that come a little bit more step by step. And that's just perfectly, beautifully okay, isn't it? So I love the EFT because it supports the nervous system as we make those changes. But I love all the things that you guys all do and use, that I also do and use, and whatever works for you, which is fantastic. I love meditation. I love getting out in nature and grounding, just getting your feet on the ground, walking. For me, I love the simple things. For me, it all comes back to not making things overly complex. But if you found something that really supports your sensitive system as you are making changes, whether it's crystals or homeopathic remedies or essential oils or sound baths, or what else do I hear from you all that you do, yoga, or whether it's getting a punch bag and punching it out, or sitting with a friend, or getting on a video call if your life doesn't allow you to sit, with a friend, coming into our Peace with PDA weekend group hangout and just having that conversation and telling your stories and speaking those truths, but in a way where you acknowledge your part and your power in that story, because actually you're the lead character in that story of your life. And you allow yourself to share the truth of the emotions that are arising and the patterns you've been walking with and the circumstances that you're sitting with that aren't what you want to be. And you can bring so much love and complete self-acceptance into that situation where you are, and you can say, and I acknowledge my part in this. And for me, that's the most courageous work. And we can carry so much shame and blame and guilt, and that can prevent us from being able to speak that or even hear that for ourselves. And it can keep us stuck. So I love that in this group we have so much of a safe space of people who, hold with open hearts all the time for people to be where they're at, and allow us to be in our growth in such a healthy way in community by just really bringing so much love and compassion and understanding, and holding that sometimes for ourselves when we can't do it quite yet for ourselves fully. But it's lovely the more that we can drink that up and start gifting that to ourselves, being that lovely inner parent to ourselves, where we can really bring in that love and unconditional acceptance for ourselves. So yeah, that was a lot. Full moon energy coming through me. Even though I feel absolutely cream crackered today, I feel full moony, hormonally kind of like just a bit checked out with energy today. And I'm quite an energized person generally, but I really wanted to come and connect on the video with you, but I didn't know what I was going to speak about. So it was interesting to see what was going to come through while I just had a minute. But I'm just feeling into if there's a bit of tapping that wants to come through. Sometimes I tap to know what wants to come, because when I start thinking and it goes up to my head, oh, everyone's waiting to hear what you're going to say, Lindsay. That's like a block in the energy system, because I'm not embodied, I'm not allowing it to flow, which is how it works for me, is to just allow it to come through me. But as soon as I have that, okay, everyone's watching the video, Lindsay, and wants to know what you're going to say. And it's live, and what you're going to tap on, and then it goes up into my head, then it's kind of like stuck. So the tapping can actually help to release that. So I'll just model that. It can be a really useful thing. I do it as well if I'm trying to remember something, like if Eliza's asking me a question, I'm feeling like a bit stressed. You know that, like, I'm sure you know that, like feeling of pressure that can make you freeze a bit, because you know that you're person that you're with, usually our children and young people, as we're talking about here, kind of need the right response, and they need it now, and you know, you kind of feel that pressure, and you're feeling that stress which is just blocking everything, you know. A little tap can really help to like actually just to clear those thoughts, just to bring down that fight, flight, freeze, fawn response which is coming up in the body of like, oh, I need to get this right, or they're gonna, you know, not be in a good place. They're going to be activated themselves. So yeah, the tapping can really help to like clear the thoughts, clear the emotions, clear the channel. I don't mean clear the emotions because that makes it sound like I'm pushing them away, but clear the channel which is feeling a bit frozen. Okay, so tapping. So if you haven't done this before, it's super easy, looks a bit daft, but it really works because what we're doing is tapping. I'm going to lead you in a minute, but just tapping around the face and body like this on some really general acupoints that kind of cover the whole of the body's energy system, which connects the mind, body, and your soul, your spirit, whatever you call that higher part of yourself that leads you. And it works on all of those levels, and it works on that physical level, like I said, of really calming everything down and resetting everything and just bringing you back into your natural place of balance and well-being, at the same time as being focused on something that you want to clear, you want to bring some ease around, you want some more clarity or understanding about, whatever it is you sort of set your target on with your mind. And then we use the body and it all comes together really beautifully. And we start on this part of the hand underneath the little finger, and we tap here a few times and do what we call our setup statement. So this is when we say what our intention is. And the really important thing about it is, while you're tapping, is we say what our focus is, and then we say an affirmation to say that we're perfectly okay where we are. Because a lot of the problem, the thing that gets us all stuck and blocked up, energetically speaking, is the fact that we don't like this thing about ourselves. We're not accepting this thing about ourselves. We're making it a struggle rather than allowing it to just come into focus and then move on through as energy is designed to do. So we say something like, for example, even though I feel really stuck and blocked, I deeply and completely accept myself. Or even though I'm really struggling with so-and-so today, I deeply and completely accept myself. Or even though person X really gets up my nose and I don't really want to make this my work and let them off the hook, I love and accept myself anyway. So we're going to say something like that. So just notice for you, if there's something coming up with the invitation with the card around relationships, if there's a person that comes to mind, and it might be a particular thing they do or say or something about them, and I just want you to like really get a little bit specific about what your intention is here if you want to try this tapping. And then we're just going to tap on the side of the hand and saying, even though I feel this way about that person, I'm a good person. Even though I feel this way about that person and I think they deserve it, I love and accept myself for feeling this way. Even though I feel this way about that person and I think that is what they're like, I do. And I think it is their fault and I don't really want to let them off the hook and I don't want to forgive them and I want them to do the changing, and I love and accept myself anyway. And then we're going to go up on the eyebrow and say, even though I feel this way about this person and it doesn't make me feel good, I'm not sure if I'm ready to change. I feel this way about this person and I think that they deserve it. I think that I'm right. I know that I'm right. They are really, put your thing in here, annoying, rude, selfish, harmful, hurtful. They are spiteful, they are gossipy. They do say these awful things that do hurt me, and they always have. Even though I've got all these feelings, sorry, I'm just under the arm here, even though I've got all these feelings about this person and I don't know if I'm ready to change it, I'll mix up myself anyway. It's okay. I'm doing just fine. I'm just becoming aware of it and noticing how it makes me feel. That's the thing, how it makes me feel. And how it makes me feel in my body. And I'm noticing how it drains my energy. And I'm noticing how it makes me feel about myself. And I notice where it tires me out or makes me sick. I notice where it grinds in my gut, where it aches in my joints, where it's tight in my chest and restricting my breathing. I notice these ways it's showing me in my body. I notice that it hurts me. I notice that it takes up so much of my thoughts, that it affects my mental health. I notice that. I love myself as I'm noticing all the ways it affects me, and has done for a long time. I love myself and accept the way that I feel in all of the ways this person's affecting me, and I'm feeling affected by this person. And even though this is how I feel about that person, I acknowledge I want to feel better. Even though this is how I feel about that person, I acknowledge I deserve to feel well and energized and free. But this is how I feel about that person. And it comes up a lot. It comes up a lot. They get on my nerves. They get on my wick. They get on my, they get on my tits. They just do. They really grind my gears. I just think about them and I just feel churned up and mad, and I want to tell everybody how annoying they are, and I want to whine about it, and I want to tell all the stories about why they're so wrong and why they're so annoying. I do. I just want to tell all those stories because it will show that I'm so in the right and they're so in the wrong. I'm not willing to let go of that because I am in the right. I am. They're so unreasonable. They're so needy. They're so selfish. They're so difficult to please. They are. And I notice all of those things. And I notice none of them make me feel good. None of them do. Except there's a little bit of relief. Better out than in. Saying it. Expressing it. There's some relief in that. But it doesn't make me feel like who I really am and who I really want to be. And I deserve to have my energy back. I deserve to have the truth of me back, my essence back. I deserve to be more in the vibration of love and acceptance, because that's what I want for myself and the world. I do. I want to be all those things. I want to be that role model of a parent, and I want to be that role model of a spiritual person. I do. But there's part of me that's just so small and so annoyed, and they really get up my nose. And do you know what? I just love and accept myself, all of me, right where I am, all of those parts of me. All of those parts of me. I love and accept myself so fully. I release the shame. I release the guilt. I release the blame. For myself. In the space between us. And I invite in love. And I invite in lightness. And I bring my energy back to myself. And I'm willing to work with these patterns. Because I deserve that. I deserve to feel better. I do. I deserve that. And I love and accept myself right where I am. And I deserve to feel better all the time. There you go, my love. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't done any tapping before, just so you know, you might find that you're yawning, sighing, just feeling a bit of a relief where the energy's moving. And if you're feeling at all like woo, where things are really starting to shift and you're feeling, just move gently. There's no problem here at all, but just don't jump up and go and do something. If you're feeling a bit lightheaded or anything, just put your feet on the ground and just feel the ground beneath your feet and let your energy settle. Because it can really start to shift things, and sometimes it can really shift the emotions. So don't be surprised if suddenly something comes out you want to share with a partner, or some tears are coming. It can catch us off guard sometimes if we're not expecting it. So I just let you know that can sometimes come after a good tap. Take really, really good care of yourself. Loads and loads of love. I'll see those of you who are in the weekend chat, I'll see you there for the rest of the evening. And if not, maybe next weekend. I will see you all in the group, in the week, in between. Sending all my love to you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Right, bye.